I was digging it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, wait till you see what we got for you next. My buddy Jay has got a story to tell. Why does he have not one, but two alien plants that want to take over the world in his front yard? Hello, Jay.
Hey, Cody, how you doing?
I'm doing good, my friend. It's so good to see you. Now, let's tell a story. What is your relationship with these two giant plants?
Way more intimate than it probably should be. About 5 or 6 years ago now, I did a show at Runaway Stage Productions, who originally built these close to 2 decades ago now.
Okay.
But 5 years ago, I was introduced with them through Runaway Stage Productions. Bob Baxter, who ran that out of Sacramento, great guy, and I was the puppeteer for that show. And unfortunately, like many theaters, they ended up closing their doors and they sold off the puppet, and I didn't have the money at the time to buy them, but I wanted to give them a new life. And then 2 years ago, I auditioned for a show here in Stockton, and it was Little Shop of Horrors, and I ended up getting cast as the voice of Audrey, too.
I remember.
So I've been the puppeteer at one theater.
And I remember when you got cast as the voice of Audrey, too. I have never seen a grown man happier than when that happened. You were so excited.
Well, if you had gone back in time, Cody, and asked young me what I wanted to be when I grew up, my answer was a Muppet. So the idea that I got to be a Muppet, finally, was a dream come true. So when I got the voice, I'm like, I love her. And then when the U-Haul pulled up with the puppets, I'm like, I recognize her. And it turns out it's the same puppet that I was the puppeteer. And I started digging into the history and asking around, and found out that when these guys were built about 2 decades ago, they have floated around Northern California. Almost every production of Little Shop of Horrors, high school all the way through professional in this area, has rented out these girls.
Get out. Get out.
So they've been loved.
Yes, they have. How did you acquire them, sir?
Well, I was very lucky that the gal who bought them from Runaway Stage, who loaned them to us when I got to do the voice over at that showbiz here in Stockton, I reached out to her after I did some minor repairs to make sure that she could get up for that production, and said, hey, if you ever want to get rid of the old girl, I'll give her a home. And it was earlier this year that she emailed to me and said, we're finally, her and her business partner run a theater group called North Bay Theatrics, and that's what they bought her for, was to rent her out and use her for their own productions. And they were needing the storage space during COVID. They needed to shrink down storage, and these gals take up a lot of room. So she called me up, and I made every neighbor stare at me while we unloaded her from the truck and found a way to get her into my garage.
I love it. Okay, we got to go, but I was wondering if we could stick around maybe next hour. Could you show us how these things operate?
Oh, I'll gladly do that. Yeah,
okay.
The big gal is a little too broken to show her that, but this guy,
me too,
who gets to sing "Feed Me," I can show you how to work her.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great, Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting. I love it. I absolutely love it. And you, my friend, did manage to become a Muppet.
Yes.
Very nice.
Congratulations.
Very nice. We appreciate it.
I made it. I'm a Muppet.
Stick around. He'll show us how it works. Coming up in just a bit. Don't go away. I love you, Jay.